Hey guys, welcome back to my coverage of the 2018 Academy Awards predictions. I previously did Best Actor. If you want to watch that video, there's a link above me. You can click on that. And this video, I'll be covering a Best Actress. Like I said before in my previous video, how this all works is I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on the category itself, who's been snubbed. Then I'm going to run through the nominees' previous Academy Award history, how many times they've been nominated, how many times they've won, etc. Then I'm going to tell you who I want to win. Because yes, not always who I want to win is the person that does win. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But then I will tell you who I think will win and give you some analysis on that. And then I'll give you my overall thoughts of the category as a whole, okay? Shall we get started? Category is Best Actress. Oh God, I just quoted RuPaul. I'm getting gayer by the day. So the nominees for the 2018 Best Actress Academy Award are Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep for The Post. So my initial thoughts for this category is that it's a very strong category this year. However, it does lack diversity. All the nominees this year are 5 white ladies, which says something about Hollywood and what type of films we're producing. But there were some other leading lady performances this year that could have made this category but didn't quite make it, and they include Jessica Chastain for Molly's Game, Bria Vinate for The Florida Project, Michelle Williams for All the Money in the World, and also including Jennifer Lawrence for Mother, which I think could potentially be Jennifer Lawrence's best performance she's ever done. But weirdly enough, she was nominated for a Razzie this year for her performance in Mother, and I just don't get the Razzies sometimes. How they can give a Razzie Award for Jennifer Lawrence in that movie, it baffles me, but breathe. Let's not wander off on a tangent. But yes, you will also notice that all 4 of those women that I just included are also white. So yeah, there is definitely a problem with a lack of women of colour in film as a whole. So out of the 5 performances in this category this year, I have seen 3 so far. They include Sally Hawkins, Frances McDormand, and Meryl Streep. I still haven't seen Lady Bird or I, Tonya yet, but I promise I will get around to it. Is there a frontrunner in this category? Yes. Is it a lock to win? I wouldn't say so. I do think there is a bit of competition, so yeah, let's get into depth about it. So let's have a look at the nominees' previous history with the Academy, because sometimes that can influence decisions with the Academy and how they make their votes. So amongst the 5 of the ladies nominated, Meryl Streep has been nominated 21 times and has won 3. Her last win was for The Iron Lady back in 2012. Frances McDormand has been nominated 5 times and has won once for her performance in Fargo, which was back in 1997. Saoirse Ronan has been nominated a total of 3 times now and has yet to win. Her previous nominations came for Brooklyn and Atonement. Sally Hawkins has been nominated a total of 2 times now. Her previous nomination was for Blue Jasmine, but she didn't win for that. And Margot Robbie, this is her first time being nominated. She wasn't nominated for The Wolf of Wall Street, in case you're wondering, but she was in contention that year. So who do I want to win? Well, bearing in mind I still haven't seen Lady Bird or I, Tonya, but out of the performances that I have seen, I would have to say that my favourite is Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and yeah, I would say she is definitely my favourite to win. The role of Mildred in 3 Billboards feels like the role that Frances McDormand was born to play. She's a broken woman with a cruel sense of humour, but also carries the mistakes of her past in her heart. Frances McDormand gives a transfixing performance as Mildred, one that simultaneously tugs at your heartstrings, but also has you bawling with laughter. To make an audience cry is one thing, but to also make them hysterically laugh in the very next scene is one that is not an easy task to do. And yet she does it. But the more pressing question is, who do I think will win, and do I think Frances McDormand will win? And I gotta say, yes, I do think Frances McDormand will win this, but I think she does have some stiff competition that shouldn't be overlooked. Sally Hawkins' performance in The Shape of Water was hauntingly evocative, and she had to communicate a symphony of emotions without any dialogue, one that is not an easy task to do, but she somehow made it look like a walk in the park. So yeah, she could be Frances McDormand's biggest competition. And having said that, we shouldn't rule out Saoirse Ronan, because she has been nominated 2 times before and has got a lot of critical buzz backing her now for her performance in Lady Bird. She could be the dark horse that sort of sneaks in during award season and gains more momentum as award season goes on. Because the Academy has been awarding a lot of younger leading ladies recently, what with Brie Larson, Emma Stone, and Jennifer Lawrence all winning in the last few years. Could she win? It's not out of the realms of possibility, that's for sure. As for Meryl Streep, I think she was wonderful in The Post. And I've sometimes had issue with Meryl Streep getting all these nominations in the past because she is so beloved by the Academy that she just kind of seems to get nominations for performances that don't really seem to matter that much in the grand scheme of the movies that came out that year. So yeah, sometimes I take a bit of beef when she gets a nomination. But I will say this, out of all the nominations that she has received over the past few years for films like August Osage County, Into the Woods, and Florence Foster Jenkins, The Post feels like the most deserving of all of those and would probably be her best chance of winning. But I just don't think The Post as a movie made as big a splash as it need to give her the momentum of being considered for a win. She was definitely a shoo-in when she was in The Iron Lady, but The Post just hasn't made enough noise for her to be considered as a potential threat. And as for Margot Robbie, I love Margot Robbie. I think she is a fantastic actress, a force to be reckoned with, someone to watch out for in the coming years. But I think the nomination alone is enough of a win for her this year, because in the grand scheme of the nominees this year, she's probably the weakest of the five, but she's still a formidable actress, and I don't think this will be her last nomination. I think she will get more in the future. But she should be proud of her nomination this year. I just don't think she has the buzz or the momentum behind her to be a real threat to like Frances McDormand or Sally Hawkins or potentially Saoirse Ronan. She is the weakest of the five, but yeah, still proud of her for getting the nom. So on the basis of Frances McDormand's performance being so versatile, that being that it's so emotionally touching as well as very funny, and the fact that she's also got great praise from critics as well as general audience members, and she's already picked up a Golden Globe for this performance, and she's also nominated for the SAGs and the BAFTAs, so she's off to a really good start in the award season race. But also, she hasn't recently won an Oscar. The last time she won was for Fargo, which was over 10 years ago now, so it won't be a case of the Academy thinking, well, she already won an Oscar 2 or 3 years ago, so we should probably give it to someone else. So she's had enough time and distance from her previous win for the Academy not to let that be a factor. So I believe the 2018 Academy Award for Best Actress will go to Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Or Missouri. I keep hearing people say Missouri, but I think it's Missouri. But who do you guys think will win Best Actress? It's still early days, so it could be a case of like someone else getting some momentum, like Saoirse Ronan coming up the rear. But yeah, I would love to know, who do you guys think will win Best Actress? Or is there someone in this category that you think doesn't deserve the nom, or someone that you really wanted to get into this category that didn't? Whatever you think, you can let me know in the comments section below. Remember to add me on Twitter if you want my full predictions on March 4th, the night of the Oscars. That's my Twitter addy, okay? And if you want to be updated on my other prediction videos for other categories, like Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Picture, Best Director, be sure to hit that subscribe button, okay guys? And hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Gearfield, and I'll see you next time.